So this is a different person we've never covered before. His channel's called Health Sanctuary Family, and this video is entitled, When Will Donald Trump Act? Arrests? Justice? Episode 28. This came out February 25th. So let's take a look at what this guy has to say.
Is Trump going to act? When are we going to see public action? When are we going to see justice? When are they going to be mass arrests?
If your idea of justice is installing a fascist dictatorship via military coup for Donald Trump and the Republican Party, that's not justice. That's being a fascist. That's being a fascist. Don't do that.
Trump going to be inaugurated? There's a lot of questions out there surrounding when Trump is going to do certain things, and I'm going to answer all those questions and more. My name is Peter Hanna. This is a Peter's Trump Situation Update. Click on the subscription button on the bottom right corner of the screen.
You can tell the production value is high when you literally just put a subscribe thing right in the back, and it's out of focus on a piece of printer paper. You need a split diopter shot so it's in focus. I learned what a split diopter was once, and now I'll take any opportunity to act like I know something.
So you can stay updated on when my videos come out, and my videos are all about how Trump is winning and defeating the deep state. So let's dive right into it. When is Trump going to act? He has been acting. He's never stopped acting. When are we going to see public action? 75% chance in the next 2 months.
Ooh, 75%. That's pretty good. That's a passing grade, okay? That's not bad. That's like a C. C's get degrees. So if the degree is installing a military-led dictatorship, that's not bad. You can get that degree. It'll be terrible for everyone, but 75%? I like that he does throw the 75% number on it, though. Like, even he's aware at some level that he needs to, like, hedge his bets, because if he says 99 or even 95 or 100%, then obviously he's going to be proven wrong, because all this, like, deep state, Trump is the secret savior, he's going to come back and do a military coup, all that's nonsense. So he has to sort of be like, I don't know, maybe 2 months.
It's very important.
It kind of sounded like Stitch from Lilo and Stitch.
50% chance in the next month we have to see some public action. The reason I say this
was posted February 25th, for the record,
is because, first of all, Trump controls the military. We know that because of the previous video I made that showed a law that was passed by Congress that gives Trump control of the military for 60 days after Biden's inauguration, which...
What? You think that Congress passed a law to make someone who isn't the president the commander of the military for 60 days? You literally can't do that. That's the least constitutional thing I've ever heard. The Constitution lays out who has control of the military and the role of the president, and how the president, as commander-in-chief, commands military forces. You can't just write a bill that says, well, this other guy who was the president, he's in charge for 2 more months. You can't do that. You would have to pass a constitutional amendment in order to do that. And that didn't happen. What are you talking about?
Means he would be a very bad strategist if he wasn't acting this whole time. So we know.
And we all know Trump is a great strategist. Let me see, 60 days. So, what is 60 days after January 20th? Can Google do this? Oh, yeah. So, if nothing happens by March 21st, we know Trump is fucked up. Tick-tock. Tick-tock. We're getting there.
You know he's been acting. There has been arrests. There are people who are starting to resign.
At least it's my birthday's before the military coup. My birthday's on the 12th, so that's good.
Public action, well, the theory goes, my theory is that since Trump will lose control of the military, possibly, but likely, in March 20th, then...
But that's just a theory. A fash theory.
He should use his military might in the next month. It makes sense to do that, but obviously there could be delays. What could delay it? Well, from one of my sources, which I'm debating whether they're accurate or not.
Have they ever been right about anything ever? I'm guessing no.
Trump was going to do a mass arrest scenario during Biden's inauguration, but he didn't because he was threatened with Team Trump was threatened by the deep state with a dead man switch. A dead man switch is when...
We know what a dead man switch is.
The deep state says, or someone says, if you do this action, I'm going to drop a truth bomb or a literal bomb. And so they used technology and clairvoyance, and they were able to find out that...
Oh, he's one of the QAnon people that thinks that Trump can see into the future using a future-telling machine. Good.
There was actually a real threat, and if Trump...
For those who don't know the backstory on this, long ago I covered all the crazy QAnon stuff. There's a certain sect of QAnon believers that believe that Donald Trump had an uncle who got some plans developed by Nikola Tesla. It always comes back to Tesla for these people. For a device called a looking glass that you can use to see into potential futures and basically use technology as a form of looking into the future or potential futures. And they think that Donald Trump has access to this device, which he is using to fight the deep state. Someone asked what I'm drinking. This is Coke Zero.
Trump did arrest people during the inauguration, there was going to be an explosion of a nuclear bomb on the East Coast or the West Coast of the United States. Some people say, why?
But if Trump's in control of the military, how would they do that? The military is in control of the nuclear weapons. So if Trump is in control of the military, how would the deep state do that?
Why haven't we seen public action yet? Trump controls the military. Why don't we see things happening? Arrests, come on. What's with all the delays? In Trump's mind, justice will come. Trump knows he will win. So the detail he's trying to figure out right now is the whole strategy is not on how, is not like whether he'll win or not. Like, he knows he'll win. He has the resources for it. His strategy right now is how to win with the least amount of casualties as possible.
Not no casualties, but he's gonna try and get it as low as possible, okay? Some of you may die, but that's a sacrifice I'm willing to make.
And to do that, he has to make sure there are no more dead man switches. The deep state has put bombs under the ocean.
Not the ocean bombs! It's the oxygen destroyer all over again, god damn it.
Put nuclear bombs in certain cities, I'm sure. There's these bombs, dirty bombs, nuclear bombs all over the planet, and Trump's been working...
Oh, not even just in the United States. Donald Trump's gonna save the planet, not just America.
Working over the last 4 years to find these bombs, deactivate them, neutralize them.
Oh, good. Mike Max got my reference. Thank you.
Apparently, I'm betting, I would theorize that not all these bombs are deactivated, because if they were, we would see more military action. Now, some people might be saying, Peter, this video is aiding the enemy. You're giving away Trump's plan. I'm not.
I agree. You've not given away anything that's actually going to happen. Don't worry about it.
Everything I know is stuff the enemy knows. On top of that, the enemy has advanced computers and...
You know, the advanced ones... Trump has a computer that can look into the literal future, but the deep state has advanced computers. They can even play chess, okay? These things, they compute like nobody's business. They got gigs, they got RAM, they got They got a lot of fans. They water cool, but the fans are also there for some reason. They put 30 solid state drives, and those are in conjunction with some disk drives that they put in the computer for reasons. I know computer things. They took the thermal paste and they put it on the thing. Advanced computing.
Whole teams of people who analyze Trump's moves. The enemy understands.
That's true. Every advanced computer. I feel so called out by the RGB comment. Hold on. This is my keyboard. Hold on, it's kind of hard to see with the light on. This is my keyboard, which is constantly, and that's my mouse. And then my PC is also all lit up on the inside, but you can't really see it from this side because the glass is on the other side. Yes, chat, I'm very called out. Goddamn. Ooh, hype train. We can finally start doing some tinfoil. Nice.
When Trump...
Oh no, mayonnaise is thermal paste? Okay, that's a cleanse for later.
Is going to act much better than I do. Much better. I'm not giving them any information. Everything I'm giving them is old information. Nothing useful.
So why are you telling anyone? What's the point then?
But
we're at level 1 of the hype train, so I gotta get the headband.
Trump is trying to deactivate all these deadman switches. When they are deactivated, Trump then will... And everything is put into place and ready, Trump will act. That is the real answer. So when will Trump act? When it's safe to act. When it's an opportune time to act.
I'll do these bit messages after the video, by the way, guys. I appreciate it. So anything you guys do, I will read.
Where there'll be the least amount of collateral damage.
Again, not no collateral damage, but he'll do his best, okay? Trump's not perfect. He just has a machine that can see the future, but he's gonna fuck up. There'll be, a couple tens of thousands, maybe a few million casualties. It's fine. That's why he let COVID go rampant. The more people die of COVID, the fewer would be collateral damage in his war with the deep state.
Will we see mass arrest?
Level 3 complete. Nice. We might actually get to level 5 today.
I think there's like a 90% chance we'll see it over the course of this year, which is very exciting. And when is Trump going to be inaugurated? Very likely either March or April.
Ooh, March or April. Again, I'm glad. It's nice when people just pull numbers right out of their butts, huh? Ooh, wowzers. Oh my goodness, Pyromancer, 25 gift subs? Jesus Christ. Thank you.
I would give that a 75% chance, as I explained in my previous video. Why? When will we see justice? That's kind of a broad question, but when will we see justice?
Bless you.
Ooh, sorry about that. When will we see justice? Justice is coming. Don't worry.
The justice was the friends we made along the way. 392% of the hype train so far.
When? Well, how do you define justice? When will all the Satanists be executed? Probably over the course of the next 15 years.
It's not a day of the rope, it's a decade and a half of the rope. Jesus Christ. Don't worry, we'll systematically purge people who have religious opinions we disagree with, and that'll be good, That's alright, right? People love when that happens. History is definitely not rife with stories of people being persecuted for their religious beliefs. Yeah, I don't know how this is still on YouTube either.
I would guess. I don't know for
sure.
Yeah,
400% of the hype train so far. We're killing it today.
A lot of power.
Thanks,
so
chat.
It's going to take time, for sure. This satanic death cult has been controlling Earth for hundreds, if not thousands of years. It's not going to be like an overnight victory like you see in the movies. It's going to take a long time. So, if you define justice that way, it's going to be like 15 years. If you define justice as when will the main people be arrested, like some of the biggest big dogs will be arrested and executed, and Trump will become president, and we'll start to see the country recover and get better. I think that's going to happen over the course of the next 2 years. I do know that there is a lot of pressure on Team Trump to act, but he has to be very careful when he acts. Obviously, in my mind, it's so obvious that Trump wants to act as soon as possible, because the later he waits, potentially the more damage can be done. I use this analogy that I was thinking about. Biden, whoever sits in the White House and has full presidential power, including the military, is kind of at the heart of the country. And
they're the president.
The United States had a big heart. And Obama did 8 years of damage to the heart of the country.
How did Obama, and again, I disagree with a bunch of shit Obama did. He was a milquetoast centrist who caved to Republicans and continued international military action that was unnecessary. However, he's not some, like, deep state Satanist thing, whatever they think. I can never get the bangs right when I do stuff like this. Gosh darn it. There we go. I think that's pretty good. A little bit of cyberpunk tinfoil, eh? Minute left on the hype train.
And he isn't in the White House. He's in a fake studio in Castle Rock, California. You can YouTube that. There's a lot of evidence for it.
No, there isn't. The Castle Rock thing comes from a bunch of people completely misinterpreting all sorts of pictures. It's very funny.
Biden does have some presidential power. As we have seen, no one can deny he has some presidential power. And
the goalposts are shifting. Now that Biden has clearly signed executive orders and done certain executive actions and signed bills and stuff, they have to admit that he has at least some presidential power. At what point does it become full presidential power? Oh, I guess March 21st, according to him.
People are following his orders, and Biden is doing damage. One example is how he raised the price of insulin for people with diabetes. So, plus the jobs that are being lost and how many horrible things are happening.
Which jobs are being lost, other than the Keystone Pipeline, which should not have been happening anyway? And those people didn't lose their jobs, by the way. They were contractors building a pipeline. They're moving on to their next job. Other than those people, who is losing their job?
With the whole, like, mask mandates and everything, like, Biden is doing damage. But the way, the analogy I would use...
People losing their jobs because of coronavirus is a direct result of inaction through Donald Trump. If you're mad at people losing their jobs over lockdowns and coronavirus, it's Donald Trump's fault. Because he completely ignored the problem for months and said it's not a big deal, it'll be gone soon, one day it'll magically disappear. He's an ass. He killed 500,000 people.
That Biden is, since he's not, doesn't have full presidential power, he's not inside the heart of the country. He's kind of like outside the heart. Imagine the heart is the most vulnerable part of the country. And you could use, and being in the heart could destroy the country or also strengthen it. He's right outside the heart, hitting the heart with it like a piñata, beating it. Biden continues to do damage.
Him and Corn Pop. He called up the Corn Pop, and he's like, Corn Pop, I need you to get back here. We're going to destroy America. And Corn Pop's like, all right, I guess.
Hitting the heart of the country, doing damage from that in that position of power that he has. Over the next 18 months, we could lose our country for our lifetime. It'll be over. If Trump doesn't act or do anything major in the next 18 months, we will lose our country for sure. But it's not going to happen because Trump knows this. Trump knows what's at stake. He knows that billions of people will die if he doesn't act. And he knows that every day that goes by, Biden is doing more damage to the country. So he is pressured to act, but he's always thinking, okay, if I act this month, Biden will do this much damage to the country. Maybe there'll be like 5,000 deaths from all the damage he's done, right? But if I act this month, and before he does damage and kills like 5,000 lives and costs like a million jobs or something like that, if I act this month and they activated a dead man switch and blew off a nuclear bomb that kills like 40 million people and radiates and destroys a quarter of the country.
How big of a nuclear bomb does he think they have? Even Tsar bomb. Hold on. Nuke simulator. Okay, to be clear, this is obviously, for demonstration purposes to point out that it doesn't even make sense what he's saying. If I'm the Cabal, which I am not, the Cabal doesn't exist. And I'm like, okay, I got a dead man switch this. Okay? I put the nuke under. You know what? We're gonna be dramatic about it, okay? Can I do Central Park? Is that something I can do? I mean, I could just probably. I'll stick it in Central Park right here, okay? It's under the lake in Central Park because this is a movie, and this is what you choose to do in the movie. So it's dramatic, and someone has to go underwater in Central Park and stop the bomb. Under Trump Tower. Where's Trump Tower? That's a good point. If it was a movie, they would put it in Trump Tower. I don't know where roughly in New York is it? Does anyone know? I don't know anything about New York or where Trump Tower is. Anyone? Bueller? I know it's in Manhattan. I'm already in Manhattan. What I'm asking for is like, southwest corner of Central Park. Okay. Is it in Midtown? Around here somewhere? Well, we'll say here. Fuck it. I don't even know if it is. 5th and 59. That doesn't help me. I don't know the grid system in New York. Other side, up here. It's not going to matter. It's going to destroy everything. It's going to be a giant nuclear bomb, but... Oh, on the other side of the bottom, this side right here. Great. Let's go here. Good enough. Okay? And we're gonna do... Let's see. This is the largest bomb that the USSR ever designed. I don't think this one is actually made. They made a smaller one that was about half. But this is our bomba, okay? This is 100 megatons. Let's see how big this is. Boop. Now, look. This is terrible. This would kill... Let's see what the death toll is, according to this. Okay? This usually has death tolls, I think. Doesn't it? It didn't. That's a shame. Either way, this would kill millions and millions of people. It would destroy the entirety of New York City. But that's not a quarter of the country, Just saying. Like, that's terrible. It would be the worst terrorist attack to happen on U.S. soil ever. But his claim about it is not exactly how it would work. You have to click casualties. Oh, there we go. Let's do it again. And Fallout. Boop. There we go. Estimated fatalities, 8,123,020. 6 million injuries. So there you go. No bueno. That's not a quarter of the country, though.
It's not worth it to act now because you're saving 5,000 lives and a million jobs, but 40 million...
Even if it is 20 million people, that's not a quarter of the country.
And people are going to die, and a quarter of the country will be destroyed. So, is it worth it to act this month? No. Just wait. He knows Biden's doing damage. He sees the damage. I mean, these people, they have a quantum computer.
He knows the word quantum, and he knows that there are quantum computers. If you asked this guy what a... Hold on. I'm getting hot. I gotta open this window again. I hate opening that because I don't want my neighbors to hear me ranting about the crazy things that I talk about on this show. But I'm very, very warm in this jacket. I don't know if you guys know this. Reflective materials, pretty good insulators. I regret making this a thing because I am so fucking hot. I gotta get a fan or something to put in here when I do Tinfoil Tuesday. Anyway, what was I saying? I don't remember what I was saying. Shit.
You have thousands of strategists working with Trump.
Oh, quantum computers. I wonder if you asked him what a quantum computer does or what it's for, how he would respond. He just knows they're really, really good computers.
They're looking for the opportune time to act, and they will act. And believe me, they want to act. Like, I see posts often like, Trump, act today, arrest them today. Obviously, he's not going to be motivated by these posts. He's only motivated by keeping the country safe, keeping people's lives, saving their lives, keeping their lives safe. So he will act. He will act. We'll see different levels of action. We'll probably see inauguration in the next 2 months. We'll see some big military action in the next 2 months. We'll see mass arrests over the course of the year. And we'll see about 50% of the job of taking down all these evil people should be done over the next 2 years. 50% of the fight will be won over the next 2 years, which is very exciting. So, and we're just 2 months away from Trump being inaugurated. Maybe if he gets inaugurated on March 4th, then we're just a few days away, maybe like a week away. So we have a lot to be excited about, and there's great things happening. We will see action soon. I understand that there's been a lot of postponing dates and moving dates. The reason for this, it's all part of a strategy where Trump feints, he pretends like he's going to act on a certain date, and then the deep state, basically, they scramble to react in a way that counters Trump's action, and then they end up messing up and expending their ammunition in a way they didn't want to. Ammunition is just stuff that they plan to do to counteract Trump's moves, and they have a certain amount of things they can do to counter Trump's moves. But once they do all those things, they run out of resources. And so Trump's been expending all their...
But Trump could also run out of resources, right? In this analogy, or in this explanation, both parties could run out of ammunition if we're talking about this fantasy world that you've concocted or pulled from 8chan or whatever.
Ammunition. And so once a lot of, or most of, probably most of their ammunition has been expended and there is no danger left, we will see action. And so we have a lot to be excited for. I apologize. Today I'm a little slow. I'm a little down. I got like 3 hours of sleep last night. So much pain. Luckily my kratom's arriving any minute now, so I'll be sharper tomorrow and I'll be better. I do want to make good videos for you guys that you're very excited about.
That makes me sad that he's actually in pain.
I hope this video answers your questions. Actions are coming. Justice is coming. And we have a lot to be excited for. These next few weeks should be very exciting. Next 2 months should definitely be very exciting. And Trump knows he has to act as soon as possible after the dead man switches are taken care of. I don't see any other reason why he would delay action other than...
Let me give you a hint, okay? If you can't imagine any other reason, let me help you out. Because all of this QAnon stuff is a load of horse shit, and you've fallen for a lie. I know that's sad. I know it's sad to admit that you're wrong. But you're wrong. You're so wrong.
Threats from the deep state. Why else would he delay actions? Other than maybe he's waiting for certain people to be in certain locations. It's possible. But things are going to happen. We're very excited. I'm very excited. If nothing happens for the next 18 months, like nothing, I'm giving up at that point. That's like...
We're going to be keeping up with this guy for the next 18 months if his channel doesn't get deleted.
Where I draw the line, I'm like, oh, okay, let's buy a doomsday bunker, you know? But we'll see action. I trust Trump. I know Trump has a plan. I know God has a plan. Everything's going to be great. So we have a lot to be excited for. Let's stay hopeful. Let's be excited. Let's be happy. Hope this answers your questions, keeps you guys informed so you can stay prepared. We have a lot of great things to look forward to. Thank you, everyone, so much, and have a wonderful day.
Hoo boy. We gotta take a look at some of his other stuff.
I'm very excited to share with all of you 5 pieces of evidence that seem to be pointing to Trump being inaugurated and becoming president next month in March, specifically March 4th.
Hold on, today's the 9th. Damn! Sleepy Joe got him again.
And the most exciting piece of evidence I have to share with you is something I learned recently from one of my supporters who showed me that there is a law that gives Trump control of the military for 60 days after Biden's inauguration, which means March 20th. In other words, Trump has legally, I have bombshell, irrefutable evidence, proof that no one can deny.
Yeah, he's higher energy because he hadn't been proven wrong again by the time this video came out.
Trump.
Actually, you know what? No, the other video was only on the 25th, so I don't know why he was so sad on the 25th. He hasn't posted a video since the 25th. So maybe he's not doing so well since his prediction came wrong about, you know, the Trump thing, the March 4th thing.
Does have control of the military for at least until March 20th. And I'm so excited to share that with you guys because it confirms a lot of stuff I've been saying on my YouTube channel. Be excited, guys. This is a very exciting video. My name is Peter Hanna. This is a Peter's Trump Situation Update. Please click on the subscription button on the bottom right corner of the screen so you can stay updated on when my videos get posted. All right, let's dive right into it. The first piece of evidence.
Oh, no. He's another one of these people that just films his computer screen. Guys, Streamlabs OBS is free. It's free. You don't have to stream with it. You can just record. You don't need to film your computer screen like it's 2003. Please, people, learn to screen capture.
This is the one I'm most excited about sharing with you guys. This person said, go to congress.gov, which is a government website, so we know it's official. Search for S.394 Presidential Transition Enhancement Act of 2019. This is something that was passed into law, and this image breaks down what this law does. It says, according to this legislation, which was passed by Congress, President Trump retains control of the military until 60 days after the inauguration of a new president.
Now I gotta go read a goddamn bill, if it even exists, just to show this is stupid. Why did I pick this as a job? Presidential Transition Enhancement Act of 2019. How long is this bill gonna be? The bill makes changes intended to smooth the transfer of executive power during presidential This is a summary, obviously not the text of the bill. The bill provides for the detailing of legislative branch employees on a reimbursable basis to office staffs designated by the president-elect or vice president-elect with the consent of the supervising members of Congress. The bill extends support provided by the General Service Administration to the president and vice president-elect for up to 60 days after inauguration. By September 1st of a year during which a presidential election occurs, the GSA shall enter into memorandum of understanding with each eligible candidate, which shall include the conditions for administrative support service and facilities to the maximum extent practicable. An MOU shall be based on MOUs. Can I just get the text of the bill? Oh, boy. Let me see if we can just find 60 days on here by Control-F-ing. Control-F. I don't know if they'd put... I don't know if the standard is to, like, write out 60 or if it's to use the number 60. So let's find out. All this... Okay. Okay. In connection with any obligation incurred by the president-elect or vice president-elect or after the inauguration of the president-elect as a president and the inauguration of the vice president-elect as vice president incurred by the president or vice president during this period, A, beginning on the day after the date of the general elections held to determine the electors of the president or the vice president under Section 1 or 2, Title 3, United States Code, and ending on the date that is 60 days after the date of such inauguration, and without regard to whether president-elect, vice president, president, or vice president submits to the administrator a request for payment regarding services and facilities before the end of such a period, in subsection H2BII, by striking computers and inserting information technology, and by adding the end of the following. Memorandum of Understanding. In general, not later than September 1st of a year during which a presidential election occurs, the administrator shall, to the maximum extent practicable, enter in a Memorandum of Understanding with the no, that's not about the military. This is about transition and how the organization in the executive branch of the government that deals with transition, basically it's things that they need to do within 60 days. Let me try spelling out 60 to see if it's another one. 60? No, there's none. So I have no idea where this guy is getting that information. His friend basically just sent him this, I'm guessing, that says, according to this legislation, this says this. But I'm guessing he didn't actually read the text, because nowhere in this text does it say the previous president or Donald Trump in specific maintains control of the military for 60 days. Of course it doesn't. That's batshit insane. But I just wanted to point that out in the text of the actual document, so you know that I'm, not just saying, no, you. It doesn't say that.
The full transition of power does not occur until March, specifically March 20th, which reflects what is...
Oh, I understand what he's misunderstanding. Okay, the bill extended the period of time through which the current administration, being the Biden administration, has access to resources from the transition team. It doesn't mean that Trump is still the president. It means that the resources that are typically given under a certain period, or historically have been given to the incoming administration under a certain period, because this was part of the summary of the bill even, they had only been granted access to funds and resources from that department for a certain period of time during the transition. This bill extended that period of time that is considered the transition period, so they have those resources up until March 21st. That does not say that President Trump is still in charge in any way, shape, or form.
Actually written in the U.S. Constitution, meaning right now Biden does not have command of the military. In other words, patriots are in control, and this proves it. So
no, it doesn't. Why don't you actually read the thing? Probably. Okay, here's the thing, and I'm just going to say this outright. Bills are fucking hard to read, right? Like, this is a pain in the ass, even for me, and I think I have pretty good reading comprehension. You guys have heard me read. I skip over my words, but I think I read relatively quickly and am able to absorb the information that's in documents. But even I, when I read something like this, kind of have to parse it in my head a little more than your typical something written for your average audience. But, like, do these people not understand this, or at least are they unable to understand the summary? Because the summary lays it out relatively clearly, right? It extends support provided by the General Service Administration to the president and vice president-elect for up to 60 days after the inauguration. That doesn't mean they're not the president and vice president during that extra 60 days. It's just providing them those resources longer. Like, you just gotta read it with your eyeballs, and then take the visual information and decode it in your brain.
This is huge, guys. This is very, very exciting, because now it's no more theory and hearsay. Does Trump control the military? Does he not? Is there evidence of it? Yes, there is evidence. Trump controls the military. Now, this could be a photoshopped images, so I just want to do...
I mean, this isn't the text of the bill. This is just something someone threw together to post on 4chan or something. This is like a Facebook tier meme that someone made that's just a complete lie. What do you mean you don't know if it's photoshopped? This is something someone made as an image macro to share around to other Q loonies.
Do my research and double check that this is real. Here we have official government website. No one can deny this is directly coming from the government. Here we can see that this
is a thing people like, not only QAnon people, but other conspiracy theorists too. They'll obfuscate and they'll say things like, look, this is on an official government website, and then they'll point to that is a real bill that's on a government website, but then they'll completely misrepresent the contents of said thing, so it looks like they're sourcing a claim when actually the actual source they have provided does not back up the claim they are making. It makes them appear legitimate to people who don't actually take the time to go look at the text of what they're citing. It's an interesting rhetorical technique. It's a lie and it's bad, but it works because a lot of people don't take the time to go and look at something, especially if it confirms something that they already previously believed. Confirmation bias. It's very interesting.
Presidential Transition Enhancement Act of 2019 became law. No one can deny that. This is a law.
It is. And it is a law, but it's not a law that says the thing you say it says.
Click on these. What you get is this part of the bill. Now, I'm not going to pretend that I understand legal jargon very well. I don't understand legal jargon, so there could be another part of this bill that explains how he has control of the military. I did read through it, and from my understanding,
he's even showing the text. This is the summary. The bill would clarify the responsibilities of the General Services Administration during a transition by requiring a memorandum of understanding between the agency and the presidential transition team. Finally, the bill would allow the GSA to provide transition services for up to 60 days after the inauguration. These provisions would help ensure smoother transitions than we have had in the past. I am very glad this is a bipartisan bill. The Senate approved this bill without any opposition. The peaceful transition of power from one party to another is a cornerstone of our democratic system. We must do all we can to ensure the integrity of that process. So it was a bipartisan bill just to extend the period of time in which the transitioning team can, or the transitioning administration can get resources for said transition. This is not, what does he think this means?
I think the part of the bill that gives Trump...
Do I think this dude is Dunning-Kruger or bad faith Dunning-Kruger? Based on hearing him speak, that's just, my vibe, so it's not evidence or anything, but it feels like he's a true believer.
Control the military for 60...
I also haven't seen him try and sell anything, and that's usually a grifter thing on every video. They'd be like, dude, buy this, come to my website with a subscription or whatever, but he hasn't. I think he's just really into this.
Days after Biden's inauguration is this paragraph right here. The bill would clarify the responsibility of the General Services Administration during a transition by requiring a memorandum of understanding between the agency and the presidential transition team. Finally, the bill would allow GSA to provide transition services for up to 60 days after inauguration. My understanding, what I think this means is that Trump legally can transfer the full presidential power to Biden over the course of 60 days.
What? Where is he getting that? That's not at all what that says. The transition of power happens at noon, January 20th. This is saying that they have access to funds and resources from the department that deals with transitioning and helps out the administration transfer from one administration to the next. Biden had the presidential power January 20th at noon.
Meaning he can hold on to full military power for 60 days after the Biden administration, which is confirming the main thing I've been saying on my YouTube channel, that Trump will be inaugurated this year because he controls the military and he has enough power to arrest all the people who have committed treason. So this is very exciting. Not only is this evidence that Trump will be inaugurated in March, this is also evidence that Trump has control of the military. This is the big boom, guys. This is big news. I mean, thank you so much for the person who sent me this. I did not find this by myself. Extra credit goes to her. She did a great job sending this to me. Thank you so much. So this is the first piece of evidence that Trump will be inaugurated in March, and
I gotta get one of those stream decks so it's easier for me to go from camera to camera.
Evidence is basically that he does control the military, but his control of the military ends in March 20th, so he has to act in March, which is basically the month that many people expect him to be inaugurated. Second piece of evidence is right here. Until the ratification of the 20th Amendment in 1933, the official date for presidential inauguration was March 4th. In other words, when the United States was a country, the inauguration date was March 4th. When the United States was switched from a country to a corporation, the inauguration day was changed to January 20th.
No, the country did not switch from a country to a corporation. It's a country.
Now that, since a lot of us believe that Trump switched, as I showed in my previous video, there's evidence of it, Trump switched the United States from being a corporation back to a country.
That's basically sovereign citizen bullshit. Yeah, Redmond Barry gets it.
Official inauguration should be March 4th. So, this is evidence number 2 that if Trump is going to be inaugurated, March 4th.
The transition, or the inauguration used to happen on March 4th because, again, the country used to, I wanted to say used to be bigger, but not really. Transportation used to take longer. Information used to take longer to get from place to place. You relied on either the postal service, or if it was later, you had to deal with, like, why can't I think of them? Telegraphs and stuff like that to get information from place to place. So the transition took longer. You had to get people from all around the country, if they want to be part of your administration, to come and plan. You need to get your stuff and pack it up and go and move to Washington. It's a whole pain in the ass, and it used to take a lot longer because we didn't have access to, you know, trains and planes and automobiles and other John Hughes comedies. But you get the idea. So eventually they moved the transition date back to January because it was, you know, easier to get there and didn't take as much time. Honestly, they could even probably pull it back a little bit nowadays, but I get it. You need time to transition.
Has to be the date. Has to be the date. Now let's look at evidence number 3. The National Guards are expected to leave the Capitol in March 12th. Now, we were told that the National Guards are staying for the inauguration. Could it be that they're not just staying for Biden's inauguration, but they're also staying for Trump's inauguration?
No, they were staying for Biden's inauguration because you people tried to, you know, kill members of Congress.
That would be so exciting. Can you imagine? Though this is March 12th, it's not specifically March 4th. Maybe they have to stay for a few days after inauguration. Maybe the inauguration has been delayed and he has to stay until March 8th. I do believe that Trump controls the National Guard. He has commanded them to stay until D.C. until March 12th. I don't see why they would keep the guard there. There's D.C. police. There's enough to protect all the politicians. Biden is not in Washington, D.C. He is in a fake studio set used for movies in Castle Rock, California. I'll make a video about that later.
No, he's in the White House. Sorry. Ugh.
So why would they stay? Not to protect Biden, because he's not in D.C. To protect the politicians? No, there's the D.C. police for that. So why are they staying until March 12th? This is the third piece of evidence that's pointing to March.
And the D.C. police did such a crackerjack job on the 6th.
Why March? Why March? And here comes piece of evidence number 4. Trump's D.C. hotel is hiking prices for March 4th, which, again...
Yeah, it was because they expected a bunch of Trump followers to come and, you know, do weird stuff because of this conspiracy.
Is the day that a lot of people believe Trump will...
Hotel prices go up based on demand.
...be inaugurated. Now, the actual hiking of prices, I looked online at his website. It's something along the lines of as an example, one room costs like $300, and then for March 4th, the same room costs $1,200, which is a quadrupling of price. Why would he be raising the prices? If nothing exciting was happening March 4th, why would he raise the prices? It doesn't make sense. So
because people are probably trying to book hotel rooms because they're crazy, because they think Trump is going to be inaugurated. It's a feedback loop.
We have 4 pieces of evidence that are pointing to March 4th, and I'm leaving one of the best ones for last. So, as we saw from this thing, the last time that someone was inaugurated as president on March 4th was 1933. If you go to the official Trump message board and go to message 19333, I know I'm speaking weird because it's for my YouTube channel. I'm trying to protect my YouTube channel. The message says, suicide weekend, hands up, 30 in bracket, 28 in bracket, impossible, coincidence, we are in control, big week ahead. Now, this was a conversation on a forum, and this guy was saying, look, this message 1933, which was coincidentally is the same year that the last person was inaugurated, last president was inaugurated, with March 4th. It just so happens that this post is referencing March 4th. And the guy's like, how does that point to the date you're talking about? And so he explains it, right? He breaks down this message for us. The 30 is 30 months from the date it was posted, which puts us at February 26, 2020. So, in other words, this 30 here means 30 months. 30 months from when this post, 1933 post, was posted. 30 months after this post is landing on this date, February 26, 2021.
That's numerology as evidence on the bingo card.
The 28, what does that mean? 28 is confirming the 30 by pointing out that it's a month with 28 days. There's only one month in the whole year with 28 days. It's February. Hands up, suicide weekend. What does that mean? That indicates there could be very public arrests going on, and some would rather do themselves in. In other words, hands up, people put their hands up when they're going to be arrested. And suicide weekend is referencing that some people won't want to be arrested. They want to commit suicide. So
it's like the end of a Neil Breen movie.
More evidence. And then what does big week ahead mean? Well, how many days are there in a week? 7. So let's count from February 26th over and see what 7 days after February, 7 days including February 26th. Let's see what that is. What we have here is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Big week ahead. Big week, 7 days. A week is 7 days, and 7 days after 7 days, if you including February 26th, lands exactly on March 4th. In 1933, FDR was the last president to be inaugurated on March 4th. How many coincidences before it becomes mathematically impossible? That's something I'm asking.
You're connecting dots where there are none. That's the problem. Is you're looking at a cloud and seeing an elephant where one doesn't exist. You're interpreting things that you want to see because human beings are very good at that. And I understand it. I actually feel bad because this is a lot of the Q people we cover on this channel tend to be a little older, tend to be, not always, but 30s, 40s, like late 30s to 40s, if not older. They tend to be like angry, and clearly their life hasn't gone very well, and they're trying to cope with that in some way, and I think QAnon is a way for them to sort of deal with that and sort of lay blame why my life hasn't gone right. Oh, it's not my fault. It's because everything's wrong, because this cabal is in charge of the world, and they're making it hard for everyone, and yada, yada, yada. But this guy is on the younger end of QAnon people we've dealt with, and I think he genuinely just wants to believe this. I don't know what his particular reason is, but I feel bad. I feel like this guy could actually maybe be pulled back at some point. You know what I mean?
Asking you guys, how many coincidences?
30 years old, I'm 39. I know. I'm almost 27. Sorry.
Before it becomes mathematically impossible. Here we have 5 pieces.
I just meant older relative to how old this guy looks, who looks like he's maybe in his mid-20s to late 20s. I don't know.
Evidence that seems to be pointing to Trump being inaugurated in March. Could it be March 4th? Could it be March 8th? Could it be before March 12th? Could it be before maybe March 19th? Because that's when he'll lose control of the military. Let me make sure this is in focus. So this is very exciting because we finally have hardcore evidence that Trump does command the military, but
that wasn't hardcore evidence. It was speculation based on numbers, and it was a misreading of a bill.
From my understanding, from what I heard, Trump controls the military. My understanding is he controlled the military because supposedly, allegedly, he signed an executive order that made himself commander-in-chief, and that's why he controlled the military. Maybe this is true.
Weird, no one's ever thought of that before. I'm just gonna sign an executive order that says I'm president for life. Ha ha! Take that, America.
And maybe he's using that in conjunction with this other law. Or maybe that is just false information or incorrect. If that's the case, it doesn't matter because Trump still controls the military using this law until March 20th, which is enough time to arrest the people who committed treason and make himself inaugurated in March. Now, if looking at these 5 pieces of evidence, 3 of them point directly at March 4th, 2 point to March in general. So, what does that mean? Well, it means that, in my opinion, there's a 30% chance Trump will be inaugurated in March.
I'm having teeth issues. I'm having like
4th.
tooth
Why
pain.
is that number not higher? Why is it not more than 30%? Well, because I haven't seen enough military action to increase the number above 30%. Now, why is that number so high? Well, 30% chance that Trump will be inaugurated March 4th, that's a high number because of 5 pieces of evidence that seem to be pointing directly at March, and 3 of them are pointing directly at March 4th. So unless plans have changed significantly, it seems to be March 4th. Now, what are the chances Trump will be inaugurated in March, period? I'm talking like March 15th or March 19th or just March, any day in March. Especially before March 20th or on March 20th. What are the chances Trump will be inaugurated in March? I would give that a 50% chance because...
50%?
Here we have 5 pieces of evidence pointing...
It's going up, though. Because in the other video, which is more recent, he said in the next 2 months, I'd give it 75%. So it's going up.
To March. So 50% chance Trump will be inaugurated next month, which is so exciting, guys. We've been waiting for this moment for so long. And then, what are the chances Trump will be inaugurated by the end of April? I would say 75% chance. On top of that, what are the chances Trump will be inaugurated by the end of this year? 100% chance. Now, why would I say there's a 100% chance Trump will be inaugurated by the end of this year? I'll tell you exactly why. Because, from my understanding, and I can't go into detail about it, the deep state plan is to kill millions of Republicans in the next 2 years. In other words, if Trump does not become president and saves us this year, my life is threatened. My family's life is threatened. Trump's family's life is threatened. Millions of Republicans' lives are threatened. They will come after us. And that's a huge deal. Trump's not going to let all his supporters, most supporters, get killed through democide. He's not going to allow that. So the only way he can save us is to become president this year. So that's why I know for a fact it'll be this year. 100% chance. Could it be in April? Like I said, at the end of April, there's a 75% chance Trump will be inaugurated because I did hear from one source. That I'm kind of iffy on that source right now. That because
that source is iffy, but the other ones are rock solid.
Of some delays in the plans, that the initial March 4th date has been changed and it's been moved to mid-April or maybe the end of April. I don't know how accurate that is, but it makes sense if things haven't gone perfectly according to plan, there would be some delays and stuff like that. But I'm still pretty confident it'll be in March because the only evidence I have that Trump controls the military is this law and that power.
And I've debunked that, so bummer.
Power to control the military expires on March 20th. So why would he not use it while he has the power? He has the power to make himself president and arrest people using the military. Why wouldn't he use it? It makes sense that he would use it, right? Makes sense to me. So this is very exciting. We have a lot of evidence that is confirming that the military is being commanded by Trump. That Trump will be inaugurated this year. And these are the 2 main things I've been saying through my YouTube channel when I really started getting into politics. So it's very exciting that thanks to you guys, there's all this evidence confirming what I've been saying. So we have a lot to be excited about. Now, the message 1933 was specifically pointing to the date February 26, 2021, which is 2 days after this video will be available, which means...
Oh, thank God this is almost over. This one's exhausting me for some reason.
Maybe very, very soon we're going to see some exciting things happening. And then 6 days after that, we have March 4th, which maybe Trump will be inaugurated. So we have so much to be excited about. I mean, I know people are suffering so much right now, but all that suffering is going to make this victory much sweeter. So I think we should be hopeful. We should be excited. We should be optimistic. Good things are happening. All the evidence seems to be pointing to an incredible March, the best March of our lives. So let's be excited. Let's keep our heads up. I'm going to stop talking about politics for a second. I'm giving you a little channel update on what's happening with me. It's just about thanking you guys for all the support that you've been giving me. I've been having a very rough week because of the deep freeze in Texas. I ordered some kratom and it's been delayed a week.
That's a good question. I don't know what the pendant is of, but on the pendant it appears it's a sword with a couple guns crossed, with crowns sort of surrounding them. I'm not sure if anyone is familiar with that symbol.
Which means I've had almost no kratom.
With sort of a shield
and why
in the
that's
center.
a big deal and why that's affecting me and even my YouTube channel is because my workload
Oh yeah, we'll be checking in with him as he makes new videos.
before kratom was a third of what it is now. And I was able to triple because I have a low pain tolerance and I'm in so much pain through exercise and working and cleaning bathrooms and cleaning the whole house and doing the dishes and cooking and taking care of the girls, changing diapers, homeschooling, taking my mom, working on the fire, cutting wood, bringing wood up. Like, it's such a high workload that the only way I've been able to do all that on top of my YouTube business, which I put between 20 and 30 hours a week into, the only way is
He puts 20 to 30 hours a week into this? Dang. How many videos is he putting out a week? Let me look. He's putting out, like... Oh, okay. He was posting quite a bit more. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. He was posting 6 videos a week 2 weeks ago, and then he did 2 videos last week, and now he hasn't done any videos this week. Maybe he's not having a very good time because of, you know, reality.
Is to basically take kratom and then I don't feel my pain and I can just push through the pain. But this last week
I really feel bad though. It sounds like he deals with like chronic pain issues, and I feel bad for him about that. The Ender 92. I'll do the other bit messages in a second, but I do think this is important. Says also kratom is crazy addictive. I use it every once in a while for anxiety, but you should definitely not use it as much as he's saying. Yeah, that's not good. He should get some weed or something, although that might be difficult if he's not in a legal state.
I haven't had that.
Oh, he got blocked for 2 weeks? He says in his latest video. I thought we watched his latest video.
Kratom that I
unless he posted it elsewhere, I guess.
Need to push through the pain, so my workload's still been tripled than what it was before.
Yeah, we watched his most recent
but I don't
video.
have anything to deal with the pain, so my pain level, like between 1 to 10, is like a 7.5. My back specifically, I mean, all over my body is like a chronic 3, but my back is like a 7.5. This morning I didn't even want to get out of my bed. I just want to lay down in my bed and not get up. And I was feeling a little depressed, a little sad, even though I have a lot of things going for me, because you just get hit with so much pain and it drains you emotionally and you feel so sad. But then you guys came in and cheered me up. One person, very generous person, sent me a very generous donation. And so much of, I really appreciate donations that have been coming in. Like, you guys are really cheering me up, supporting me, making sure my channel stays alive. Thank you for everyone, my Patreon supporters, the people donating, people signing up on Rakuten. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you to the people who are debating me. And a special thanks to the people who are sending me information that either contradicts what I'm saying or confirms the things I've been saying, especially this recent email. I looked at it today while I was meditating before making this video, and I was like, oh, I'm going to check my phone, and then...
See, again, this differentiates him a lot from some of the other ones I've seen, where he's like... He's saying thank you to people who are debunking some of the things he's been saying. I think this is a true believer who just, like, has been sucked into this lie, unfortunately, and doesn't know that they're wrong. I feel bad for him. Maybe through some of these videos, maybe he'll see them, and maybe he'll, I don't know, get something out of him. If he watches this, I just want to say directly to you, you seem like a nice enough guy. I apologize for the chronic pain you're in. My girlfriend deals with chronic pain issues too, and I know that can just be absolutely debilitating and affect you not only physically, but just the emotional toll is immense. So I understand that that's difficult. But that aside, I think you've let yourself fall into a false conspiracy theory, and I think you've become very emotionally attached to that, understandably. You've spent a lot of time on this, and you've probably met a lot of friends and community through this, but the claims you're making and the idea that you believe that there's this, like, secret cabal doing a bunch of evil stuff and that Donald Trump is going to come and save... No, that's not the case. Donald Trump does not care about you. Donald Trump is not a good person. And I'm not like a Biden stan either. I don't really like Joe Biden, but you gotta understand Trump does not care about you. He doesn't care about you or your problems or your chronic pain. Donald Trump is a shitbag, and if you want to find help, you really should look elsewhere. I apologize, but that's just the truth.
The message was like, hey, confirmation that Trump controls the military. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can use this in the video. And it's all thanks to you.
What about having a conversation with him? Would I be open to it? Yes. He's the kind of person I would probably be okay with talking to on stream.
Supporters. My secret sauce to making my channel very good is you guys. You are my secret sauce. I know there's some haters, but even the haters give me feedback that's sometimes valuable. Sometimes they expose flaws that some of my supporters don't want to expose. So thank you so much. I'm so humbled. I'm so lucky. Praise the Lord. I am in a perfect position to cheer people up. I have a lot of power, almost 30,000 subscribers now, to help people, cheer people up, make a difference in the world, have a positive impact, spread news that people need to hear, cheer people up. Thank you for everyone who's liking and sharing and commenting and debating and sending information and subscribing. You guys are at the core of what's making my YouTube channel so great. Thank you so much. I hope this video keeps you guys informed and excited, because we have a lot to be excited about, and I really appreciate this symbiotic relationship we have where you are supporting me so much and I feel like I can cheer you up while you guys are cheering me up as well. Thank you. I'm so blessed, so honored, and I feel like I really owe it to you guys to produce the highest quality videos possible, and I'm doing my very best to achieve that. Thank you so much for everything, guys, and cheer up. Have a happy day, because we have a lot to be excited about and great things are happening. So put a smile on your face, be excited for March, and onward we go. And if it doesn't happen in March, that's okay. It'll happen in April. Not April, this year. So everything will be great. Oh, I got a daughter banging on the door, so I got to end this video. Thank you, everyone, and have a great day.
Oh, he has kids. Oh, no. Okay. Oh my god, his videos get almost 200,000 views, 160. These are his most viewed videos, in fairness, but I guess I assumed his videos would be getting much fewer, like this 3.3, 3.7. That sounds more reasonable to me. But anyway, I actually feel bad for this guy. I'm sure he has some pretty detestable views based on being involved in the QAnon community, but this is one that I think could maybe be brought back to reality, and maybe I'm wrong, but here's hoping, I guess. But this guy's been growing like crazy. Like, here's a 5,000 subscriber video, and then a 20,000 subscriber video. He just absolutely blew up. Let me look at him on Social Blade. $300 subscribers. Yeah, he got 19,000 subscribers in January. That is bonkers. That's a crazy number of subscribers to get in 1 month for a channel that size. I've never gotten that many subscribers in a month. It's crazy. Looks like he had to delete some videos, though, because he lost a bunch of views, so he probably at some point had to delete some videos for being conspiracy or something. Either way, I hope this guy, for one thing, if I ever get an opportunity, I'll talk to the guy. He doesn't have a business email or anything, so I can't contact him. But maybe at some point we'll get an opportunity to talk to him and maybe walk him back from the edge a bit. Anyway, let's take a look at the bingo card, and then I'll do bits messages, which I just have a whole ton of.